with whenever you add canvas, like width, it's going to be, yeah, when you add the canvas width, it's just going to kind of extend the canvas. It's not going to, it's going to show all of it in one window, essentially. Like if I were to add it to this brochure template, then it would just be a wider page. So there wouldn't be a way to like only view some of the width and then scroll. Wouldn't have that ability yet. So I'll show you an example of like if we widened the canvas here. Cool. So this width is 1280. Let's just say we get crazy. Make it 3000. You can see when I zoom out, it's extended that canvas width. And then when I preview, it is giving Kid Cudi Man on the Moon cover vibes, Jean. That is exactly what this reminds me of. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And then what else? So yeah, back to the width. You can see it just kind of extended the canvas. So it doesn't make it like a scroll option. It'll just make it a little bit wider for you to work in. Awesome. Good question though. Okay, back to our flipbook search. He said, could you screenshot the next page as and insert it as a static image and then layer over a quick on view animation to give the effect? Yeah, I think that might be like the play is adding an animation on the screen to make it look like it's like flipped to the next page. So I'm trying to see if any ebook examples would have something like that. Let's see. Zeros Inspire. I want to look at ebooks and see if these might show it. Let's see. Maybe. Okay. Dang it. This one is like a ebook with like the pages and everything, but we're just jumping to the page and then they just kind of have some animations for the text and everything. But it doesn't have that like flip effect we're looking for. They just kind of animate the assets in. Wonder what animation we could play around with. Let's try. Looking at a few more and then I'll just start playing around with one. Okay, let's look at this example. How to survive in a post-cookie world. This one looks like a fun adventure. Okay. Using some animations. I have not seen this experience in so long. It's so funny. Okay, if not a flip, then sliding between left and right pages of a spread. Okay, do you mean like being able to like swipe and do that? Of a spread? Let me think. I think the only swiping I know of that you can do is really like scrolling on mobile or like if you're on a touch screen. But with that, I don't know if it would create the same effect we're looking for, but in the theme panel in the studio, if we enable touchscreen swiping, like if they're on a touchscreen, it's going to disable pinch to zoom. So that's one of the caveats there. And it's only going to allow them to do the kind of swiping with the touchscreen. Wouldn't be the same effect if they're viewing it like on the browser. Let's see, just so the viewer gets the experience of seeing the entire spread somehow. On a flip between left and right pages. Let me think here. Okay, if not a flip, sliding between left and right pages of a spread. Ooh, okay. Let's say, could you make your own navigation and utilize a progress bar like the one Travis shared last week to make it seem like it was sliding through the pages? Ooh. Okay. like with the progress bar coming into the, like on, or scrolling as we go, making it look like, oh, wait, I have maybe an example. This might not even be along the lines of what we want to do, but I think I have an example. Let me find my tabs. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for 2 experiences. One has a mountain. No, not that one. One is like a carousel kind on the page. Let me see. Could we maybe be thinking of something like this, where it looks like it's not a linear scroll, but horizontally, when you scroll, something is pinned in the background and it kind of looks like you're navigating to different parts. Thanks, Dallin. All right, cool. Maybe like this. So it looks like you're scrolling through it and things are kind of popping up like this. I think this might be a workaround. There's also another example of this with like a mountain situation that looks really cool. So I'm wondering if we can maybe do something with that. But I could be on a totally different thing that we're not even looking for. Horizontal image gallery. That's not what I want. Ooh, this is also a good example. Not the one I had in mind, but again, instead of linear, kind of having it like this, where it's like got the cool animations and they're all in these different sections. But I know we're talking about navigating to the different pages, so this might be a little bit different. But I love this example. It really breaks it up and also just kind of makes it seem like you're like flipping through a book, almost like a scrapbook kind of thing. And like there's so many cool animations and text, and you can explore and learn more. But I find this one super fun and a cool way to break up the content. So even though you can't do like a linear one where you're swiping and uncovering, even as you scroll through this, you can just have each section kind of layered like this. But then you can also do, let me close out that. Let's see. Let's see this chat. Great examples. I'm going to experiment to see what might work. Absolutely. I hope these are helping and along the lines of what you're looking for. There's, because you can also just get creative with like what you're pinning and then like hiding the pin and showing content. Ooh, okay. It's coming to me. I'm getting ideas. So this one looks linear, but it is just multiple pages. But the way that they have incorporated all the assets make it look like it's a continuation of the page. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I found this to finally connect the dots here. So when we go to the next page, it's just like a continuation and everything's sliding in. So it does look like you're kind of swiping or going to the next page, and then everything kind of slides in after that. Wow, I knew there was going to be an aha moment somewhere. Just took a minute. But yeah, this is a really fun timeline, kind of going off of that effect of a linear navigation. But you can also get rid of that default nav if you want, and then play around with your navigation too. But I love this one. It's definitely a smooth continuation of the experience, and then like getting creative with the animations all like coming in from the right. Sweet. All right, let's see. Are there any other examples like this that I can think of? Let's keep poking around. Let's see what we can find. I'm still on the hunt for one. It's not even like a huge template. It's just pinning another object. But any other questions or curiosities on Studio and what you can build? Oh, bye, Jean. Thanks for hanging out. Excited to see your creative challenge. I'm very excited. All right, let's see. Oh, this is also a good one. I'll show y'all what this one is, and let's see if there's one more. Okay, this one is kind of a lookbook too. But this is a product page. Instead of a linear scroll, we're scrolling down, but it's like breaking up the content by bringing in these shapes for the background. And you can see it like breaks it up, changes it up a little bit. But I think I've gone off the rails with this one, like off topic. So I'm going to show this next one because this one is an editorial and publishing. So whenever I full screen it, we've got our banner, animations. So they use some cool animations and banners to break up the content. And I know it's taking a minute to load with my internet, but then they have like the interactions to click and learn more. And then you can click or hover to learn more and then click to go out to those other pages. And then you could accomplish like a page slide using that effect with color changes. Like that could you just show and hide your content. Like, let's see, a page slide using that effect with color changes. Like this one or with the product one? Oh, the last one. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I think you could definitely do that. So for this product page template, using that effect with color changes, and you could just show and hide content like that on the last template. Yeah, you can just play around with like the background color too to make it seem like it's progressing linearly in the pages as they navigate. Like instead of scrolling down, you can play around with that, like you said, and have it transform as you go through the pages. Let's play around with it. Let's try that. I think we're cooking with gas now. Okay, I'm going to import that template and we're going to edit and see if we can play around with different pages of it. I love this idea. Let's try it. Cooking with gas. Let's see. Yeah, that's a great idea, Alyssa. Let's import this to this one. All right. Open this puppy up. And then we'll just start playing with some animations to get this effect here. Perfect. Okay, cool. And with the background, the way that they actually created this effect was using object states. So you can see the background is actually just a shape, and they used a gradient color so that it kind of has this fade throughout. So it's just this shape here. And then the object states, this is the default, but then when they scroll to a certain point, it shows state 1. So it's like cut in half. And then there's state 2, 3, and then 4 is when it just completely disappears off the page. So let's see if we can recreate this as a multi-page experience with a similar effect, whether it's using object states or animations. I'm going to add another page. Perfect. I'll just copy my section 2 here. I'm grabbing that whole folder just in case I leave anything behind. And we'll bring it up here. Cool. Good enough. And then I'm actually just going to copy that whole shape and bring it here. That way all the object states are there, everything's good. But what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm actually just going to open us up in preview and see what happens when we go to the next page. Oh, yeah. Because then I think we would get that effect because the interaction's already there. So then here's our page with our background. We go to page 2. Oh, well, this one doesn't change yet. Let's see. When we scroll to this section, we want it to show like this, right? We want the background to kind of scooch in. So I could go to page 2. Let me see if we have hotspot or anything. Okay. I don't think so. I'm going to add a hotspot so that once this hotspot is visible, like right when they get to this page, the interaction that's going to happen, I'm going to move that to the top. The interaction that's going to happen is that once this comes on view, we're going to just change the targeted state of that background shape. And I want that to, let's just choose a shape here. I want it to go to state 1. So I want it to go like this. You can set up a delay if you want. I think I am good. You don't want it to repeat. So I'm going to save that interaction and then we're going to check this out in our preview. Okay, so page 1, we start here. And then page 2, yeah, I think this is along the lines of what we're looking for. But I think a delay might help with this one so that it is just a bit more prominent that this is happening when they scroll. So I would say, let's set up, maybe I'll just do like a 1 second delay here. And just see what this looks like. So page 1, page 2, might be a little quick. But yeah, I think this is what we're looking for. So you can use object states for this one. I'm just like repurposing this template that we already have, but I think this could work. And then I can copy that. I'll just duplicate this page and do the same thing for our 3rd slide, but I'm going to change it so that whenever it comes into view, it's going to change it to a different state. So that was state 1. Let's say I want it to look like state 3, where the white is on the left side. Update my interaction, and then I'm just going to maybe, how will we differentiate this? Well, that's fine. I was going to move them around, but we'll know. We'll know it's slide 3. Okay, so there's slide 3. Slide 2. Okay, we start from the beginning. Slide 1. Slide 3. Oh, I need to repeat the interaction because it's not replaying. Let's see what we're doing here. So we do want to repeat that if we come back to it. So it's not just a 1 and done. And it'll replay every time they come back to each of these hotspots. Oh my goodness, I think we figured it out for this little, with this little flipbook situation with some cool object states. Okay, refresh. Go to page 3. Pew. There we go. Wow. Yeah, I think playing around with that would be really cool. And you don't have to do it with object states. You can also just have this like animations with the shapes as well. But these object states were here and I thought it looked cool. But you can also kind of create this effect by using shapes and like having it look like a mask almost. And how I would do that is I would have like the assets here. I'm just going to copy the assets themselves. Just copying that section. I don't want that hotspot anymore. And then let's say I want it to just animate in and have that kind of animation instead of using object states. What I would do is I would grab my shape tool here and place it over that section, almost like a mask in a way, because it's masking these things. And then I would add an animation to this mask so that once we see this, we're going to do an on view animation. It's going to do an exit effect so that this shape is exiting and hiding. And I would do maybe like a slide out animation. And I want it to go towards the right, since we're going to be like navigating through it and it'll be coming from that direction. Let's see. Replay if we come back to it on the screen. And I am going to slow down the duration of this so it is a little bit slower. Maybe like 3 seconds, just to make sure we can see it. So I'm using an exit effect so that this shape will slide out of view. Let's change the color because I don't like this color. We'll do a blue. And then when I preview this, that shape is automatically going to animate like a curtain there. So can get kind of creative with how you want to do that. The object states one is really fun because it's transforming it. This one is just a quick animation, kind of like it's unveiling. You can also play around with that if you want it to, I don't know, let's see, not interact. If you wanted it to light speed out or like roll out, but maybe even a shift out would be good for this one. Let's see what that looks like. That makes it seem like the page is turning. Yay, we've gotten there. It kind of does, right? Let's see what a shift looks like. Okay. Similar. I like that one too. Yeah, so you can always use like a shape on top, and then you can just add an exit effect animation. Sweet. By golly, I think we've got it, folks. So that's how you can kind of create that effect if you have a flip book, playing around with animations, or even object states of a shape, but we've done it. Any other questions about the final project or anything else y'all are curious about making in the studio? This was a good one. And Alyssa, great idea. Could not have gotten here without that idea with the template. That was awesome. All right. Let's see. I think that might be all the questions in the chat so far. Ooh, okay, one more. If you wanted it to go to the next page, you would use that animation and make it when it clicked onto the next page, right? And make it when it clicked on the next page. Yeah, so with this one, like you could just copy and paste this entire shape and apply it to the next page, and it would carry over the animations. The key for this animation effect, though, is that right whenever this shape is being viewed on view, it is using the exit effect. So that way it is disappearing. If you were to use an entry effect, it would be a bit different, and it would be like, instead of sliding out, it would slide in, and then it would stay visible. So that's why you can get creative and use an exit effect, like sliding out, right whenever we see it. And then just copy and paste that shape, and you can apply it to the next one. You can edit the color and whatever you want to do, but yeah, once you build it out for one, you can copy paste that over. Sweet. Any other questions? Thanks everybody for hanging out. I can't believe this is our last post show, but this was a good one. Good brain exercising, brainstorming. Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions or curiosities, then I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of the day. And I'm so excited to see your final projects and go through them next week. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.